Well, I guess we waited for 4 or 5 weeks. We can wait for 5 more minutes, I suppose. So, all right. Thank you for being patient with us, and good morning, everybody. My name is Gary Steyer, principal of Port Clinton High School. And on behalf of the senior class and the Port Clinton City Schools Board of Education, it's my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the 136th commencement of Port Clinton High School. To honor America, we ask everyone to please stand. Gentlemen, please remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Everyone, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. Anybody who knows me well knows that I like order and structure and organization. And I like knowing that details are taken care of and that things are in their place. And I like schedules and predictability. And if you probably talk to my counselor wife, she'll probably use terms like obsessive compulsive and type A and maybe some of those other counselor things they talk about. But I suspect that many of you, like me, have had to step outside of your comfort zone the last 3 months and do things a little bit differently than what we're used to. We've had our world turned upside down recently, and all those normal day-to-day things that we normally do, routines that we're used to, were just kind of thrown out the window. There was no time for plans, no time to make sure details were taken care of, and it was certainly an immediate change that hit all of us with full force. But as hard as it was for all of us to deal with, these sudden changes in life and work and school, it was amazing to me to see what the senior class did in response to the situation. It certainly has been hard for them, as many of the changes have affected them directly. However, the response as a class to the situation was certainly nothing short of tremendous. As I look all around at all the adults in the stadium, myself included, I'm going to offer to you that we could all learn a great deal from this special group of seniors and how they responded to the situation. When things happen in our lives that we don't like, it's only natural for us to complain about it or focus on the negative. And it's really hard sometimes to find that silver lining behind a cloud, but that is exactly what this class did. And there was one thing that happened early on during this time that really let me know that this class was going to be just fine. The students were all notified that Monday, March 16th, was going to be the last day of in-person classes. And everyone had to come to school to go through all their classes one more time, hear from their teachers about their expectations, pick up their necessary supplies, and prepare for remote learning. Very quickly, though, that plan changed too. Instead of all the students going to all of their classes that day, they were told to come to school, visit each of their teachers to get handouts and final directions, and then head home for remote learning. So as I stood in the hallway that day, helping kind of watch this whole process, a couple of the seniors came up to me and said, "Hey, Mr. Steyer, would it be okay if the seniors set up a grill in the parking lot out front? We've got a bunch of hot dogs and cornhole boards, and we just want to hang out together." So, of course, I looked at him and I said, let me get this right. You want me to tell you it's okay to start a fire in the parking lot? So, of course, I did the right thing. I said, I'll make you a deal. As long as there's a hot dog in it for me, you're on. So instead of complaining about losing their last day of school and all of the senior activities, they figured out a way to enjoy the day together. Complaining wouldn't have done them any good, and they needed action. So they took it upon themselves to make something good happen. And like I said, we can all learn a lot from this special group of young adults. And by the way, that was a pretty dang good hot dog. Today you're going to hear from 4 of the seniors as they have the opportunity to address their class one final time. And I want you to know that each year when we select our speakers for commencement, we tell them we have one basic requirement for them. We want your speech to be to your class, and we want it to be about your class. We don't tell them what their topic has to be, and we don't tell them what they have to say. And it was amazing when I got the final draft of the speeches from our seniors this year that will be speaking today. I was floored. Their focus wasn't on what they lost out on, but rather what they accomplished and the opportunities they had and how they grew during the process. I'm not going to play spoiler here and tell you any more about their speeches, and I'll let you hear it for yourselves and see exactly what I'm talking about. Back on April 30th, we hosted a Google meeting with the 15 senior members of our leadership council to talk about commencement and what we wanted to do. And many schools were planning virtual commencement ceremonies and other forms of graduation exercises. And we asked our seniors what they wanted to do with their commencement, which was originally scheduled for May 30th. After some discussion, the seniors decided they wanted to have the ceremony postponed until later in June. After all, they said, maybe things will change just enough around the state of Ohio that we could possibly have a commencement similar to what we're used to, maybe even in the stadium. Even if things don't change, they said, at least we could say we gave ourselves a chance. Well, class of 2020, I'd say you gave yourselves a chance. Now let's do what we've been patiently waiting for, and let's celebrate this class. Each year at commencement, we spend a few minutes recognizing several seniors who achieved great things in the classroom. And this year's graduating seniors will be the second class recognized under our Loudy system. And in order to qualify for recognition in the Loudy system, students need to finish their 7th semester with a minimum GPA of 3.650. And also by taking selected courses with increased rigor, students can earn honor points and move up to a higher level in the Loudy system. Students who earn recognition on the first 2 levels of the Loudy system, those finishing as cum laude or magna cum laude, are noted in your program. So please make sure you get a chance to look at those names. And we have 14 students who earned the highest distinction possible, summa cum laude. And these students finished with a 3.650 GPA or higher, and they had 9 or more honor points. And I ask that these students please stand as I call their names and stay standing until they're all called, so we may recognize them here today. So those students earning summa cum laude are Caitlin Chafee, Connor Gillum, Grace Heilman, Avery Hines, Elena Kessler, Andy Kale, Kara Lynn, Omar Lucaro, Zane Manning, Jackson Martinez, Hannah Moore, Kaylee Phillips, Dylan Smothers, and Cooper Stein. Congratulations, seniors. You may be seated. This morning we would like to recognize this 10 students who represented Portland High School as part of the Ottawa County Top 10 program, hosted by the Cabinet of Superintendents. These students qualified for this honor based on their achievement level in the Loudy system, and again, the number of honor points they earned. As I announce these students, again, I ask that they please stand and remain standing. Connor Gillum, Grace Heilman, Avery Hines, Elena Kessler, Andy Kale, Kara Lynn, Hannah Moore, Kaylee Phillips, Dylan Smothers, and Cooper Stein. Congratulations, top 10 students. You may be seated. And to earn an honors diploma through the state of Ohio, a student must exceed Ohio's graduation requirements by meeting 7 of the 8 designated criteria. And the class of 2020 has 28 students who have earned the honors diploma. Seniors, again, when I call your name, please stand and be recognized. Michael Baxter, Caitlin Chafee, Michaela Farrell, Benjamin Gilliland, Connor Gillum, Grace Heilman, Avery Hines, Elena Kessler, Andy Kale, Madison Koskela, Cooper Kowal, Kara Lynn, Omar Lucero, Zane Manning, Jackson Martinez, Hannah Moore, Aaliyah Philibom, Kaylee Phillips, Alana Reed, Trey Riffle, Sierra Robinette, Nico Rojas, William Seagard, Dylan Smothers, Cooper Stein, Tyler Webb, Zachary Weldon, and Hannah Whitty. Congratulations, students. You may be seated. And one more group of students that we would like to recognize this morning, those graduating seniors who have enlisted in the armed forces. Each of these students has been awarded a red, white, and blue cord for today's ceremony, and we ask that they please stand when their name is announced. Chase Barton, Army. Caden Chapman, Coast Guard. Robert Geisheimer, Army. Mason McDougall, Army. Tyler Reed, Army. Austin Sabo, Marines. And Dylan Simpson, Army. Thank you, gentlemen. Today's welcome will be given by Elena Zoe Kessler. Elena is the daughter of Mary and Slate Kessler, and she has one brother, Jack. In high school, Elena participated in track, tennis, cheerleading, and volleyball. She was a two-time captain of the swim team, historian of Leadership Council, treasurer of National Honor Society, a freshman mentor, and she was a 5-year class president. After high school, Elena plans on attending John Carroll University as a member of their swim team to major in environmental sciences and minor in chemistry. Elena hopes to someday attend dental school. Elena is unable to be here with us today as she accepted a summer job in Virginia and began her work there last week, but we are pleased, though, to be able to share her message with you.
Hello. Welcome to the graduation of Port Clinton High School's class of 2020. We are delighted that we are able to share this momentous day with you, our families, our educators, and most importantly, each other. I think it's safe to say that there has never been a class who's shown more grit, more grace, or more perseverance in the face of life's adversities than the class of 2020. In fact, the very definition of grit is unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. It's a combination of passion and perseverance toward a goal, independent of and beyond what talent and intelligence contribute. To be gritty is to embrace all of life's experiences, good or bad, knowing it's not what happens, but how we choose to respond. Quite simply, grit looks adversity in the face and gives it the proverbial middle finger. To quote Cardi B, "Knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10. The class of 2020 has faced challenges in the past 3 months like no other, but this class has displayed countless examples of grit throughout our time at PCHS. I'd like to give you just a few examples. Cooper Stein getting hawked most Friday nights, but still setting a new record for most yards rushed. Or Zane Manning, with the season on the line, staying out on the field despite having a broken foot. Grit is Michael Baxter working 6 days a week all year long, while off-season training for track, taking college-level classes, and still maintaining his high GPA. And after not being satisfied with merely qualifying for the state DECA competition her sophomore year, Kaylee Phillips worked persistently to advance to not only the state competition, but the international competition the next 2 years. Grit is Dylan Simpson, Caden Chapman, Mason McDougall, Chase Barton, Tyler Reed, and Bobby Geisheimer choosing to serve in our country's armed forces during these dangerous times. And there is no way to describe the courage shown by one of our classmates who is sadly not here with us today, Selena Tita. Whether you juggled tennis and touch of class, bowling and robotics, maintained straight A's or perfect attendance, the class of 2020 has displayed exceptional grit all along the way. Then, right before the finish line, we got knocked down, but we're here together, getting up. Mr. Atkins said in one of his video messages that the class of 2020 will go down in history. We will, but it's not because of what happened to us at the end of our senior year. It will be because of the way we finished what we started together with grit.
my pleasure at this time to introduce our superintendent, Mr. Patrick Adkins. Mr. Adkins has been the superintendent of Fort Clinton City Schools for 16 years, which is an amazing accomplishment considering that the average tenure of superintendents at any one school district is 5 to 6 years. I think it says a lot about him as a person, but it also says a lot about our community. The trust that you place in him as a leader of our school district, the trust that our Board of Education has in him, and the respect that our staff has for him are all quite evident. We all appreciate his leadership and his ability to look beyond our own dock to help steer our ship to uncharted waters and to ports unknown. Please join me in welcoming the Superintendent of Fort Clinton City Schools, Mr. Patrick Adkins.
I really appreciate every year you pointing out that I couldn't find another job. And this is why I never cancel school the night before a forecasted snowstorm, right? Wasn't supposed to be very nice today, and here we are. Seniors, we thank you, and really we thank Mr. Steyer. And I think we need to recognize Mr. Steyer and Mrs. Steyer for putting up with him with a round of applause to make sure that all of this happened today. We also want to thank our health director, Nancy Osborne, for signing off on our plan, which has allowed us to give you the proper send-off and recognition that you deserve. I am not going to mention coronavirus, COVID, pandemic, flatten the curve, or talk about everything that you've lost. Instead, we will celebrate the moment and the opportunity to be together one last time. Congratulations, seniors, you deserve it. Our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, guests, and students, welcome to the commencement of the class of 2020. As I begin my brief remarks, I would like to recognize our Board of Education members who are here today. Without their support, many of the accomplishments, including this ceremony, would not be possible. Our Board President, Ms. Beth Benko, our Vice President, Mrs. Michelle Mueller, and Board members David Belden, Barb Drusbaki, and Paul Shaw. How many of you watched ESPN's special, The Last Dance? Raise your hands if you watched The Last Dance. Oh, come on, that's it? Okay, well, so much for my remarks. The ESPN special, The Last Dance, was a Michael Jordan documentary. For those of you that are too young to know who Michael Jordan is, he is, in my opinion, and it is an opinion, the greatest basketball player to ever play the game. Apologies to LeBron and Kobe, but it is Michael Jordan. Even though I love the show, it isn't because of Michael that I bring it up. I mention it because of a song that's played at the end of the series by one of my favorite bands, Pearl Jam. And the song's called Present Tense. In the song, the singer, Eddie Vedder, sings the lyrics, "Do you see the way that tree bends? Does it inspire? Leaning out to catch the sun's rays, a lesson to be applied." I spend a lot of time in the woods, and it's my place to go and relax and escape. And for years, I've been fascinated by trees that grow in amazing ways to reach the sunlight above the canopy of the forest. To catch the sun's rays, the limb sometimes has to grow down before it can grow up. Then it must grow out before it can grow up. And then finally, it can grow up into the sky until it reaches the sunlight, which provides it energy and life. This process doesn't occur overnight. It takes years, but the tree can't give up or it will die. When I heard the song, my mind shifted to your class. How hard you have worked to get to this moment. At times, the journey was tough. You faced challenges, including having many of the things that you've looked forward to for 13 years taken away from you, but you did not give up. Each of you grew, some years more than others. Your graduation picture boards will reflect the trail of your journey. It didn't happen overnight, but rather took years to reach this point. the crescendo of your high school education. Many have spoken of 2020 as a year they would like to forget, but not here today. In such turbulent times, we needed good news. We need a reason to celebrate. We need you. And honestly, we probably need you a little more than you need us right now. You are an exceptional class, one that has brought smiles to the faces of your teachers and administrators most of the time. You are survivors. You are resilient. You are gritty, and you possess a desire to be the best. A few months ago, we signed diplomas. Someone asked me, why do you sign all of the diplomas? Why don't you just stamp them? I looked surprised and I said, I could never, ever do that, because you all have worked incredibly hard over the past 13 years to get to this point when I signed them. When I signed them, I'm reminded of the wonderful memories I have of many of you. For some, I even snap a picture and send it to your mothers just because I know it'll make them cry. You are a special class. You were worth the wait. Today we celebrate your awesomeness of the class of 2020, which includes being the first class to attend the new middle school, grades 6 through 8, never have attending our old Port Clinton Middle School. Being part of several SBC championships, including boys tennis, girls swimming and diving twice, girls bowling, and football your freshman year. For being an incredible student section, which led the chant above the line in Huron when a fan acted below the line manner at the end of the game. Colby Wiley, for putting me in Twitter timeout, for posting a video of him dancing with Bennett Spencer. Who knew a grown man couldn't post a video of a young boy dancing with a bunch of kids? For being the first senior class to be exposed to our R-Factor training in the first ever full student assembly at the stadium. For being the senior class to almost host the OASL State Conference. There are also many individual highlights, too numerous to mention, but a couple that come to mind are as follows. Marie Gluth, for demonstrating grit by joining the Ohio State University rowing team without ever having even competed in a rowing competition. Kaylee Phillips, for being recognized as our Firelands Positive People Scholarship winner. For Cooper Kowal, for his Eagle Scout project, which included chairs for Meals on Madison. Grace Heilman, for being such a positive influence and being a wonderful role model for our younger students. And Hannah Moore, traveling to Peru as part of the Global Leadership Adventure and being named Ambassador of the Year runner-up. And I'm probably going to screw this up because I just saw it, in the Hobie Alumni Regional Person of the Year. Is that close? Close, all right. And two of my favorite memories with you personally. When you were in middle school, I remember being in my office and looking down the long hallway to the middle school, and I saw about 5 or 6 of you laying on the floor, and they were doing the hamster wheel. If you don't know what the hamster wheel is, they lay in the hallway, they put their feet on the bottom, put their hands over their head, and they push off till they get to the top, and then they push their hands, and they go the other way, and they do a big circle. It looks like a hamster wheel. And I watched them, and I walked down the hallway, and they thought they were in trouble, and I just said, you guys are really lucky I have dress clothes on right now, or I would do it with you. And they laughed. Maddie Koskela was one of those kids. And about a week later, I'm walking down the hallway on a casual Friday, which means maybe I didn't have dress clothes on. And she's walking by me, and she stops, looks me right in the eye, and says, you don't have dress clothes on today. And the two of us lay down on the floor and did the hamster wheel. I forgot all about the security cameras at the middle school. Mr. Deals had a great time with that. And to my godson, Cooper Martin Stein. Your mom's probably a little nervous right now, Cooper. I could talk about your little stop on the street corner after our families went and got ice cream together, but I won't. But one of my favorite memories was a conversation I had with Grandma Bolte after you quit the Braves. She said to me, "I just hope Cooper learns to love the game of football as he gets older, because I think he could be really good." I'm sure Grandma Bolte's looking down right now, Coop, with a pretty big smile on her face. I think you made her pretty proud. You are a class that will be remembered for years to come, but not because of what you went through, but rather who you are and who you have become because of it. I have news for you. This will not be the greatest adversity you will face in your lives. Tougher roads are certainly ahead, but like the tree, you have to keep growing and pushing yourself to be the best. Congratulations on successfully completing this part of your journey. In closing, I leave you with the second verse of the song, which reads, "Life makes much more sense to live in the present tense." Thank you for being you. We love you, we will miss you, and God bless the class of 2020. Go Skins.
Today's first senior address will be given by Grace Elizabeth Heilman. Grace is the daughter of Kurt and Nicole Heilman, and she has one sister, Gabrielle. In high school, Grace has been active as a captain of the volleyball team, and captain of the basketball team, a member of the track team, historian of National Honor Society, president of Future Teachers of America, and a member of Leadership Council and Future Professionals in Medicine. In addition to her school activities, Grace enjoys hanging out with her friends and spending time with her family. After graduation, Grace plans to attend Kent State University's Honors College of Nursing with hopes of becoming a pediatric nurse practitioner. Please welcome Miss Grace Elizabeth Heilman.
Seniors, we finally made it. After 12 years of seeing each other almost every day, we are starting to take our separate paths. We began together in kindergarten as we were just learning the alphabet. I will never forget the day in 5th grade where we all got in trouble for protesting because we weren't allowed on the playground. I know the basketball team will never forget our first win against Seneca East. It wasn't until 7th grade that our coach told us that we had won because all their starters were at Girl Scouts that day. Definitely cannot forget the dodgeball tournaments, powder puff games, and pep rallies throughout high school. There are many more memories we all have made together that we will always remember. Unfortunately, we missed out on some of the best memories at the end of our senior year this year. We could spend days talking about the negative impacts of coronavirus has had on our senior year. However, let's focus on the impact it has made on our lives moving forward. I know that I have learned to never take a single thing for granted. The small things such as going to school, having practice, saying hi to random people in the hallway, and so on meant so little to me before all of this. This experience has taught me that all those things mean way more than we make them. Never take a single thing in your life for granted because one day it could be lost. Cherish every moment of every second of your life because one day everything can be flipped upside down. These little things will mean so much more in the future. At the end of this year, Mr. Grimm had an assignment that I found very inspiring. We had to make a sentence for ourselves. This sentence had to explain what impact we wanted to make on the world. Once we made that sentence, the idea was to work every day to become a better version than the day before until you ultimately can say that sentence defines who you are. Everyone says next year is the perfect new beginning to become whatever version of yourself you want to be. Do not wait until next year. Each day itself is a new beginning. Take each day to work towards turning that image of yourself you want to be into a reality. I want to challenge everyone here to do the same for yourself. Think of what you want your life to mean if it were defined in one sentence. Start today on your new path of life as you go on to the rest of your life. This chapter is finished, so make the next one even better than the last. Take each day as a challenge and make it better than the day before it. One of my favorite quotes is from William Perky. Perky was an author who wrote on success in education. You may not know who he is, but I'm sure you've heard this quote before. My mom had it up in our kitchen for a long time. You've got to dance like there's nobody's watching, love like you'll never be hurt, sing like there's nobody listening, and live like it's heaven on earth. Make the most out of your life. You only get one life, so give it your all. Whatever your dream is, no matter how far-fetched or impossible it may seem, take each day to get closer and closer to that dream. Nothing is impossible, so make that dream a reality. Thank you to all the educators who have got us this far in our lives. Thank you to the community and family members who have supported us through everything. Thank you to all the coaches who have taught us how to push ourselves to our limits. Thank you, classmates, for being there, whether it be a smile in the hallway or best friend to depend on. Thank you, Port Clinton, for everything you have given and offered to us. Once a Redskin, always a Redskin. Good luck to everyone in the future.
Thank you, Grace. Today's second senior address will be given by Hannah Marie Moore. Hannah is the daughter of Jennifer and Ben Moore, and she has one sister, Sydney. In high school, Hannah has been active as president of Leadership Council, president of Future Professionals in Medicine, a member of the soccer team, a freshman mentor, and a member of National Honor Society. Outside of school, Hannah enjoys spending time with her family and friends, as well as traveling. Hannah completed over 340 community service hours and helped raise $2,000 for the Cleveland Clinic Toy Drive. After graduation, Hannah will be attending the Honors Tutorial College at Ohio University to study translational health and applied nutrition. And she's also been accepted into the Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine Early Assurance Program to attend medical school with aspirations of going into pediatrics. Please welcome Ms. Hannah Marie Moore.
Every single one of us has had to jump hurdles over the last 12 years to earn the title of graduate. Yet, no one envisioned the hurdles we would have to jump during the last semester of high school. We all felt the outpouring support of our Redskin family and our community. But I know this doesn't fill the void in our heart from losing our last days together. To many, we will be the COVID class. The sad reality is that to many, we will be remembered for what happened to us, not for what we accomplished, which is unfair because in my eyes and the eyes of everyone here, we are so much more than that. We are a class that led change. On the first day of senior year, we all walked into the PAC to see the words "above the line" plastered on the stage. For those here who did not attend PCHS this year, let me familiarize you with the phrase E plus R equals O. The E stands for the event, R stands for the response, and the O stands for the outcome of the situation. In life, we cannot control the event, something we have all particularly come to understand in the last 4 months. However, we can control the outcome by changing our response. The class of 2020 took this lesson to heart and immediately applied it in both big and small ways. Our student body made it their personal mission to bring about the change they wanted to see. Crowds of students arrived at tennis matches and soccer games to support those who are normally not supported. These crowds were filled with students who weren't afraid to paint their bodies to change the school spirit. Multiple teachers stated that they had never seen this kind of energy and excitement at pep rallies before. Small acts of kindness filled social media with the students proudly sharing each other's accomplishments. We stood up for each other, lifted each other up, and made supporting each other a priority. The atmosphere changed in the halls of Port Clinton High School. Collectively, we decided that we wanted to make our school better, and that started with our own actions. We led by example and left an imprint on PCHS that no other class was able to do. But what makes us extraordinary is that we continued to do that when we were no longer allowed to walk the halls. When school was canceled on March 16th and the senior class knew we may not get a last day of high school, instead of letting the event control the outcome, we decided to have a positive response. On that Monday, the parking lot was filled with students having a last day of school cookout so they could enjoy their last moments together. We roasted hot dogs, made pancakes, courtesy of Cooperstein, and we enjoyed our last moments together. A week later, an anonymous Twitter account was created to give senior shout-outs amidst the dark of time. Although we were separated in ways that no one could have imagined, we came together in far greater ways. We are not a normal class. Nothing that we had to go through in the last 4 months has been normal. However, we are not normal not just because of what happened, but because of who we are. We are the class of 2020, the class that created the change they wanted to see. But we are also the class who is faced with unprecedented challenges and whose world was turned upside down just as they were entering it. To be a member of the class of 2020 means you grew stronger in dark times. You were a leader when the world needed one most, and you never faltered or gave up when the world was against you. For the past year, the class of 2020 has shown me that no matter the event we are given, we still have the power to control the outcome. As we move on from PCHS, I hope we all remember the importance of our response and how it created true change. Now go on and change the world.
As we prepare for our diploma ceremony, I want to remind the seniors that as you come forward for your diploma, you'll have to put your mask on before you stand. And after you receive your diploma, you'll have an opportunity at the end of the runway to take your mask off and to have a picture taken by our Life Touch photographers. So now it's a great deal of pride and pleasure to present the members of the class of 2020 for their diplomas. Assisting in the diploma presentation will be high school counselor Mr. Rick Dominic, Director of Innovation and Instruction Mr. Kelly Croy, Superintendent Mr. Patrick Adkins, Fort Clinton Board of Education President Ms. Beth Banco, and members of the faculty as announced. Have the first row, please. Caitlin Mariana Chafee. Connor Matthew Gillum. Mother presenting, faculty member Stacy Gillum. Grace Elizabeth Heilman. Parents presenting, faculty members Nicole and Kurt Heilman. Avery Scott Hines. Andy S. Kale. Kara Christine Lim. Omar Alejandro Emilio Lucero. Mother presenting, staff member Kira Lucero. Zane Michael Manning, grandfather presenting, staff member Noe Torres. Jackson Rosendo Martinez. Anna Marie Moore. Kaylee Nicole Phillips. Dylan Chase Smothers. Cooper Martin Stein. Brennan Rafe Barnett. Chase M. Barton. Michael Cole Baxter. Kayla Monroe Bodine. Ariel Renee Burkhart. Elijah Anthony Burkholder. Taylor Marie Burnett. Ethan Ray Cantu. Olivia Grace Carnicone. Kristen Lynn Carpenter. Selena M. Carasalis. Sonia May Casto. Noah Menelik Chance. Caden Thomas Chapman. Madison Page Clearing. Kyle James Coleman, mother presenting, staff member Jenny Coleman. Roy Jack Cooper Jr. Kaylee M. Cornell. Luke Marshall Cuevas. Brianna Nicole Curley. Logan Andreas Dagg. Keanu Manoa De Leon, father presenting, faculty member Kevin Belden. Allison Paige Dickman. Mason J. Elson. Alyssa Lee Fargo. Logan David Faulkner. Andrew Jeremiah Ferguson. Michaela Taylor Farrell. M. Pure. Ileana Rose Garza. Robert Thomas Geisheimer. Brooke Gabrielle Gibbons. Shelby Leanne Marie Gilbert. Benjamin Raymond Gilliland. Mary Alice Gillespie. Lissa Irene Gilman. Raven Grace Gittinger. Marie Joan Glue. Mother presenting, staff member Jan Glue.
Yeah, Mary!
Shane Robert Green. Savannah Lynn Hennig. Zoe Evan Hines. Jonathan Philip Hinkle. Dalton Riley Hofacker.
Way to go, Peanuts!
Caitlin Elizabeth Hurst. Luca Elliott Jones Toussaint. Griffin James Joseph. Colton Weston Klima. Sarah Jean Kopp. Madison Cleo Costola. Cooper Michael Kowal. Carly Ariana Laurel. Star Dreamer Mackey. Justin Luke Martin. Addison Riley Martinez. Amir Malia McCree. Mason Alexander McDougall. Madison Rose McLaughlin. Christian Chase Meek.
Way to go, man!
Alina Joe Mitchell.
Get it, girl!
Brendan Lee Mullins. Dylan Robert Newell. Jasper Donald Nickel. Parents presenting, faculty members Jen and Steve Nickel. Alyssa Ray Pennell. Monique Armani Perkins. Antonio James Peroni. Aaliyah Catherine Ann Philibon. Jody Lynn Posta. Gavin David Preston. Jose Rangel III. Haley Elizabeth Ranzenberger. Alana Laversa Murray Reed. Trey Dexter Riffle. Sierra Elaine Robinette. Nico San Luis Rojas. Alexis Faye Runyon. Austin Michael Sabo. James Terry Saffron III. Madeline Rose Sherdell. Rock Ransom Scott. Jason Silva. Dylan Michael Simpson. Kathleen Ann Smith. Samantha L. Snyder. Isaiah Terrell Stanley. Emily Grace Stotsberry. Grace Dorothy Talbot. Brandon Lee Tucker. Lucas Michael Wadsworth. Megan Lee Wadsworth. Samuel David Walker. John Michael Wall. Tyler Jacob Webb. Hunter Douglas Webster. Zachary Thomas Weldon. Avery B. Wettrick. Bobby Joe June Whiteside. Madison Alice Wiles. Logan Joseph Williams. This way, Logan. Hannah Marie Whitty. Colby Robert Wiley. Morgan Alina Ziebert. Loani Elias Arambula. At this time, I invite Senior Class Vice President Zane Manning to please come to the podium. By the way, parents, as Zane is making his way up here, you're going to have a great opportunity for a photo op coming up where all the students are going to be standing with their masks off. So get your cameras ready. That's great. Class of 2020, please stand. If you'd like, you can remove your masks. With your left hand. With your left hand, you may grab your tassel. By the authority granted me by the state of Ohio and the Port Clinton City Schools Board of Education, I pronounce the students listed in the class of 2020 having met the prescribed standards to be hereby considered graduates. Seniors would like to face the homestand, please, first. Seniors, please all turn and face the homestand for a picture so your parents on that side can get a picture. And we ask you to turn and face the visiting bleachers, please. Great. Thank you. Seniors, you may be seated. Today's closing address will be delivered by senior class member Cooper Martin Stein. Cooper is the son of Renee and Corey Stein, and he has one sister, Mackenzie. In high school, Cooper kept himself busy with participating in Leadership Council, National Honor Society, Freshman Mentoring, and International Club. Cooper was active in athletics as a 4-year member of the basketball team, and he excelled in football as a 4-year team member, which included 3 years as a team captain and numerous SBC and district awards. Next year, Cooper plans on attending Baldwin Wallace to major in business or law and continue playing football for the Yellow Jackets. His career goals include getting his law degree and becoming an FBI agent. Here, with today's closing address, is Mr. Cooper Martin Stein.
This obviously was not the ending of our senior year that we have all been envisioning since the day we learned there was an end to all this learning. Unfortunately, the world is a cruel place where college exists and we get 4 more years of fun. And for those totally sane people who want to really push themselves, there are even more options for years of school, but that's not the point. The point is, we missed out on what is supposed to be the greatest ending of a school year of your life. This is true. We missed the peel-outs and the honking and all of our fun senioritis-filled classes, but in reality, we kind of had the best senior year of all time. What other senior classes got to stay home, watch Netflix, sleep, play video games all day, and do homework at whatever time of the day or night we wanted. What other classes got a parade dedicated for them and was shown off to the whole town like ours? If you think about it, our punishment of having school taken away because of a global pandemic kind of turned out to be a present in disguise. Now I know for all the spring athletes who have been working their butts off their senior year, like Zach, Avery, Tyler, Michael, Marie, and so many more of you guys. It sucks that we didn't get to see all the hard work pay off on the field or track. I know that if I hadn't got my senior season of football, I might have hurt someone. Still, your hard work did not go unnoticed. I am proud of all of you for how much work y'all put in, especially Zach, because I have never in 16 years I have known you seen you work so hard on something that isn't your hair. Being in this field means a lot to me, so I would like to thank everyone that worked on making this possible. I know that with all of the regulations and all of the other hoops you had to jump through. It was not easy, but it really means the world to me that we are able to be graduating as normally as possible. Now I'd like to take a break and give a huge shout out to all my coaches and teammates who have had to put up with me. If you have ever played any sort of review game where the score is kept, or were unfortunate enough to be in my gym class, you know how competitive I can be at anything. Sorry again to the Powder Puff team. So however bad you have seen me get over a silly game, multiplied by that by 10 when I am on the field. I have yelled at Connor Gillum more times than I can count, and wanted to kill Colton, Zane, and Caden so many times. And don't even get me started on Rimbock's play calling. But in the end, I may go over the top a few times, and I appreciated all of you putting up with it. Making our school a better place was not the goal that most of us thought we would be completing during our senior year. We had no clue about the R factor training and the E plus R equals O positive mindset and positive outlooks that would be taught to us that would eventually turn around our school's spirit. When we entered as freshmen, I'm sure, like me, many of you were focused on a few small things. For me, it was earning my way onto the field and bringing home multiple SBC championships for Port Clinton. I wanted to show that the community I had grown up in still had the ability to produce championship teams, and that we were no longer that 1-9 to 0-10 type of school anymore. Obviously, we did not reach the goals that me and many of my teammates had wished to achieve, but I think we managed to achieve some better goals as a class. Thanks to people like Colby, Avery, and Marie for always getting the student sections rocking, like the girls swimming team and Elena, who was a state qualifier, crushing it every year, and Cooper Cowell and the tennis team back to the SBC championship. And Dylan Smothers had the robotics team out here winning competitions. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to my entire family who has supported me throughout the years, especially my parents. Without inheriting my father's insane athletic abilities, I would not be the same. It has been a true honor to get to attend PCHS. I love PC, it runs through my blood. I couldn't think of a better small town to be a part of, and I hope that my family and I stay around to continue to be a vital part of PC. Congrats, class of PC 2020.
Before we conclude today's ceremony, there are certainly many people that we need to thank for all their hard work and dedication to our students for making this happen today. The Port Clinton District maintenance staff of Chuck and Chas Lauderbeck and Don Cartwright every year do an unbelievably amazing job of preparing our stadium here, and they do such an outstanding job, and their attention to detail is second to none, and we are very grateful to them. Also to the high school and district office staff who helped prepare for today, Mrs. Natasha Luma, Trinity Bohr, Tracy Tomaselli, Kathy Meek, and Jan Bluth. Those ladies spent a lot of time preparing for today, not only this morning, but prior to today. And oh, by the way, Jan Bluth, happy birthday. Did you tell me it's number 39 again? Is that right? Yes, 39. Okay. Theo Dunham of Video Creations and Greg Pfeiffer of WPCR Internet Radio for making a live feed of today's commencement possible, as well as Sammy Diaz for capturing aerial footage with his drone. Scott Cross up in the booth for the video work and the PA work. Thank you, Mr. Cross, for not killing my microphone every time I talk. I appreciate that. The high school teachers who helped with today's diploma ceremony and are helping out with the recessional. Adam Murray, Kathy Miller, Seth Benner, Julie St. Ledger, Danny Diaz, Joe Miller, Becky Fort, Diane Rojar, Paco Romero, and Bobby Good. Thank you to all of them. The district administrators for getting everyone in here safely and to their seats. Kendra Van Doren, Jeff Halsey, Gary Sanchez, Kelly Croy, Bill Lowe, Lucas Messer, and Anthony Pampolo. And we most certainly want to thank the parents and the families for your help and your participation today in making this event possible. So thank you very much. At this time, I ask the 6 senior current and past members of Touch a Class to please come forward for the singing of our alma mater. Kaylee Cornell, Andrew Ferguson, Ben Gilliland, Raven Gittinger, Zoe Hines, and Hannah Whitty. As they are coming forward, I want to explain how today's recessional will work. After the alma mater, selected members of the high school staff will lead the seniors in a single file line off the field and out the 6th Street gate across from baton. And while the seniors are leaving the field, we please ask all family members and guests to please remain in your seats and in the bleachers. After the last senior has left the turf, members of the Port Clinton School administration team will dismiss the audience to help maintain appropriate distancing. And again, we appreciate your help in making this happen. So please remain at your seats until the school administrator has dismissed your family, and then at that time, you may exit any of the 3 gates. I love the fact that we get to do this live. This is great.
So that all may hear when our journey here is through. We will always think of you with heart in hand, ever faithful we stand. Lord Clinton will be true.
Seniors, please stand, and you will follow the staff. Mrs. Dyer.